have a video all about my freshman year of college, and I got a lot of questions from you guys on previous videos, like asking about, like my meal plan, how I've been living, my roommates, how to make friends and all that stuff. So I figured I would just talk about my experience. I'm not gonna like make this a super long video. So the first question kind of was like, how did you adjust? Adjusting was the hardest part for me because I'm really used to like a structured schedule. Because in high school I had class from, well, I was out the door at like 7 o'clock every morning, and I didn't get back until around 4:30, or 4:30. So it was like a long day, and then I would do my homework, eat dinner, shower, go to dance, then go to bed. So that was like my day every day. But in college you kind of have strange schedules, so like you have 3 hours open in the middle of the day, and I find it best that if you have those gaps in the middle of your day, then do your homework during them, because it'll help you out a lot. I always try to do my homework in the gaps between classes rather than always after classes, because you're more inclined to want to hang out with people, go, walk around or do something fun, if you don't have any more classes that day. So try to do all your homework in between classes. Another tip for adjusting is make sure you're calling home regularly. I don't live very far from home, so it's not that bad for me, and I actually didn't get homesick at all, which is kind of weird because normally people get homesick in the beginning of the year, but I really didn't. I just like threw myself into school and loved it right from the start, but a lot of people do struggle in the beginning, so make sure you're calling home. I'm really bad at calling home. My parents always yell at me. And ultimately, adjusting is going to be easier if you're sleeping right and eating well. It's really hard to eat well on college campuses, at least at my school. I'm not a huge fan of the dining hall. It really stinks, but yeah, you just have to kind of make the best of it. Make sure you're eating lots of fruits, and if you can get your hands on like vegetables and stuff, that would be ideal. So just try to keep a healthy diet and make sure you're getting enough sleep. The next question was about making friends. I got really lucky because I love everyone on my floor. I got like insanely lucky with all the people that are living on my floor. They're like my best friends here at school, and I also joined a sorority. So that was kind of another question, like Greek life, and people had questions about that. I have friends from my classes, but I don't really go out with them on the weekends and stuff like that. But obviously I talk to them in my classes, and I'm really friendly with all of them as well. But for the most part, it's my floor and my sorority and the girls in my sorority. For me, the hardest part is trying to find a balance, because a lot of the times I can't do things with people on my floor that I can do with people in my sorority. So that's what I'm still struggling with, and I don't get out until mid-June, so I have time to work on that as well. But really balancing two different groups of friends, that's like been my main struggle since I've been at school. So if you have any tips on that, then just let me know. But yeah, about Greek life, I love my sorority. I didn't get hazed whatsoever. I love all the girls in it. I did talent show for Greek week, and that was really fun, and I got to like perform, and it was awesome. That was like a really big time for me, and that was like actually when I felt like the most into my sorority. Like I really threw myself into it, and I had a great time, and had a lot of pride when I was doing Greek week, because I'm very competitive and I always like want to win, which is a really bad trait, but it was really fun, doing all the events and stuff like that, and watching them and cheering the girls on. So sorority life, if you're interested in it, I recommend just go for it. I was really interested in it in the summer, and then I came to school and I found out that I loved my floor, so I was like, I don't know if I want to join a sorority, but I decided to go through with recruitment anyway, and I'm really happy I did, because you don't know if you're gonna like it until you go through it. So all the people who think that sororities are stereotypical, I mean, you really don't know until you try it for yourself. If you're interested in sororities even a teensy bit, then I recommend going for it. About the dues, which is like the money that you pay to be in the sorority, I hate the whole pay for friends thing. I don't consider my being in my sorority like I'm paying for my friends whatsoever. I've met so many amazing girls, a lot of them that are older than me, and I wouldn't have had the chance to meet them if I didn't join my sorority. I'm paying for the dues myself, so I know that it can be a little financially, it can be a struggle financially, but I think it's worth it, and I think a lot of you would too. Now, on to schoolwork. Schoolwork for me, my first term, my schedule has a it's 4 quarters instead of 2 semesters. But for freshmen, we only have 3 quarters, and then we have a summer off. But every other year after that, I don't have summers, which is like terrifying. But for my first quarter, my workload wasn't that bad. A lot of my classes were production classes because I'm in film and video, so I would have to take cameras out a lot and do all that stuff, which is a little intimidating to me in the beginning, but then you start to get the hang of it. And I had a lot of projects, and I didn't really have any exams, but this term I am in a math class and an art history class, so I actually have exams. And basically, when you're studying for them, just make sure you're studying well in advance. That's like my biggest tip, and I'm pretty sure you guys all know that, but just make sure you're not cramming the night before, because that's not going to work. Normally, college exams are cumulative, so it's like everything that you've learned the entire semester or the entire term, it's going to be on your final or your midterm, so you just have to make sure you're studying enough in advance so that you can get good grades. A little bit about scheduling. It's really hard to make your schedules in colleges because sometimes the classes are full, and then you had a schedule that you made and then it gets messed up. I recommend making a few alternative schedules for when you're scheduling your classes. So when it's crunch time and you have your time ticket, when you can make your schedule, you have a backup, because that is always a really good thing to have. Oh, and I also want to touch a little bit on roommates. I'm really lucky because I have a suite style room, so that means there's like a little living room, and I have we have a fridge, and then there's a bathroom with a shower, and then another shower, and then 2 rooms. So it's like kind of like a little apartment. It's really nice. If you guys can get suite style rooms, I really recommend them, because I think that they're better than like the little dorm rooms. And a lot of people think that if you're in suite style, then you won't meet the people on your floor, but the people on my floor are always in the hallways, and we always hang out in each other's rooms. So I don't think that's really something that would inhibit you guys from like meeting new people. I don't know if that's just my floor and that we're all really talkative and crazy, but I don't know. I don't think it is, because I know there's a lot of people who live on other floors in my building who are just as friendly with people that they live next to. So don't think that, oh, if I live in a suite style, I'm not going to meet anyone, because that's not necessarily the case. And just with meeting people in general, you just have to be outgoing. You know, go up to people in your classes, people from your floor. Just try to reach out to people, because they want to meet people just as much as you do. And everyone in college is like insanely friendly compared to high school. It's not like super cliquey or anything like that, which I find really refreshing. Yeah, so about my roommates, I met them on Facebook, which I recommend if you can do that, because a lot of people have horror stories about it, but I love these 2 girls that I live with to death, and they're my best friends at school, so I think it worked out for us at least, and I recommend it for you guys to like check on Facebook rather than doing random roommates, because I think it works out better. So that's all I can really think about for this video, but if you have any other questions at all, just let me know in the comments section, and I will type my little responses to you guys. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye!